So she grabbed me by the ear and took me back to Mrs. Gregor's class. We were migrant farm workers. No one in my family had gone to college. But because of the programs that President Kennedy started with the war on poverty, I was able, thanks to Upward Bound, to go to college. President Kennedy cared deeply. He wasn't perfect, but he cared deeply about making this country more fair, more equitable, more just, and more inclusive to those of us who have few opportunities to make it. So it was no surprise that it was here, and it was he, President Kennedy, who became the first American president to appear before a Latino organization like LULAC. Yes. Very happy to be here to commemorate with you this wonderful, wonderful night. First, I want to introduce to you now Mr. David Contreras, who will introduce our honored guests. David?
Years ago, on this exact day, several hundred Latinas and Latinos, did I get that right there, packed this ballroom hoping to catch a glimpse of President John F. Kennedy and the First Lady Jackie Kennedy. They were just expected to say hello and wave, but instead spent 17 captivating minutes with the crowd. Embedded in the memories of those who were in attendance and still with us today are the images and emotions of the 17 minutes that John and Jackie shared with the audience on that magical night. The reception committee is privileged and honored to have in attendance tonight 25 honored guests who witnessed the presence of John and Jackie Kennedy's visit 50 years ago. The LULAC JFK legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to recognize our honored guests. Please stand or raise your hand when your name is called. Tina Adami. Tina was the wife of David Adami, a LULAC member for more than 60 years. And he was a LULAC legend. Tina typed a letter inviting JFK to the LULAC banquet. The letter was authored by past National LULAC President and Council 60 member John J. Hedetta. Tina spoke to the First Lady and appears in photos and video shaking Jackie's hand. Next is Barry Alvarez. Alex Adorius. Alex was a member of Council 389, and he was the Vice President. Several honored guests, and I think there's 8 or 9, were members of Council 389, which was an amazing group of young advocates who began addressing equality and civil rights issues as students at Jeff Davis High School. Amparo Arroyos. She's a member of Council 389 and she's the wife of Alex Arroyos. Agustin Ayala. He is the husband of Petra Ayala, who is Secretary of Council 389 and owner of the Lost Guest Book, signed by John Kennedy, Jackie Kennedy, LBJ, and Lady Bird, and all of Council 389.
Sorry, I'm working.
Briones. Yes, she is also a member of Council 389. Marianne Briones. Member of Council 389 and the Treasurer. She's the wife of Jesse. Ernest Aguirre. Ernest has been a member of LULAC for 66 years. woman at the event. He is regarded as a LULAC icon.
He is.
He's my uncle. Mr. Edia recently celebrated his 94th birthday. And his 66th wedding anniversary. Maria Hortensia Edia. She is a wife of Mr. Edia. Lupi Braga. Irene Braga. Dr. George Gamas. Dr. Gamas performed at this event 50 years ago, and he will perform again for us tomorrow. Joyce Helena Harper. Fernando Herrera. Fernando performed for the Kennedys 50 years ago, and he's going to perform for us again tonight. Kathy Luz Herrera. Kathy is the daughter of John J. Herrera. And Mr. Mike Herrera. And was president of Council 389. Mike collaborated with his father working behind the scenes in Washington, D.C. to help convince JFK and LBJ to attend the LULAC banquet. Felice Herrera Kish. Felice is the daughter of John J. Herrera, the youngest daughter. Vinny Martinez. For 60 years. Kim Montero. Houston police officers providing security for the President and First Lady. Gilbert Moreno. He said he had more of this. John J. Herrera. She's that cute little girl wearing the red, white, and green dress in our program photo. Peter Altaveras. Pinal Salinas. Irene Zerminio. And finally, Mr. Paul Zerminio. Council member of 389, and husband of Irene. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our honored guests. Please give them a round of applause.